All right, I'll call the September 7th Utilities Committee meeting to order. We get an approval of the agenda.
Chairman, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right, the approval of last meeting's notes.
I move to approve the last meeting's notes as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Looks like we did a lot last meeting. Those are long. Okay, Ashley, the sewer, water, asset management, and master planning
All right.
to start with.
Okay. Sewer audit, since we haven't moved forward just because of the backup with those dye tests and everything, there wasn't an update, so that's why you didn't receive a map this time. There was no change from last months.
So we're still waiting on 50 or whatever that.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, and I'm gonna get with Adam, about maybe resending those letters out. There's 50 of them, and just that way, the guys aren't having to go door to door. Maybe we can get a better response, resending them out. Sometimes we get better response that way, and other times we don't get anything, so it's a gamble.
Sometimes you get a better response, sometimes you
Yeah.
get shot.
Yeah. Okay, so for the water audit, the big things we wanted to point out on the water audit is that the water cells were did go down a little bit, but they were higher than the non-revenue water still. But we did see a water production went up more, and revenue water went down. So we are starting to close that gap, so we need to be a little bit more mindful about that with the non-revenue water increasing slightly. Even though it's still lower than this revenue water, it's still increasing. Leak detection, there is no update on that. I don't know, Adam, if you know anything about the big water leaks, if Marty's been able to work on those.
Yeah, we found a couple of them or we've worked on a couple of them, but the biggest ones have been repaired.
Okay.
They're working on the smaller ones now.
What were the locations, Adam?
I know there was one in Upper Canyon, or Black Forest. There's two in Black Forest. There was one in Upper Canyon that they had fixed right there by Shadow Mountain Lodge there. And then I'm not sure where the other one was. I can't remember.
Okay, so for asset management, City Works, we're just working on getting distribution back with the tablets. Working on getting them updated tablets so they can work off the app function. And we're also currently, Eric and I have a kickoff meeting with Brandon, who runs Centricity. They work for City Works, they're a third party. They help us implement City Works. And we're going to work on launching Storeroom with them. And Storeroom is a inventory function for CityWorks. And so as the crews are out there, if they say, we used 5 of this part, it will be subtracted from the inventory, and we can set up thresholds that once it hits this threshold, it will alert the managers it's time to reorder parts. And then we are also working with Moles and Corbin to get our GIS shape files that we get from contractors after these projects updated. We've been having a lot of issues with the surveyors not providing us with the information we're needing for our asset management details on all these assets. So we're having to go back. And so Eric and I, along with Moles and Corbin, are working on updating this. That way it will just be part of every single construction plan, we'll just attach this packet. Anything that's relevant to them, they do need to provide to us.
Are you having to actually do surveys, or are you just doing,
The survey team, is doing the surveys, and then they send us in the shape files, and we look over them. But they're missing a lot of data, so a lot of times they'll just give us the point and then be like, here's a valve. But, okay, well, what's the make and model of this valve? What's the depth of this valve, and stuff like that we're missing, and so, it's been
are you
pretty
just putting
consistent.
GPS points in, or?
Yeah, we're updating our GIS system, with this surveyed data. So that way we have a more reliable system of where everything is. And then also with the engineers working on the master plans for the asset management part, all the information they have been collecting, they will be providing to us so we can have all of our asset management updated as well from them. So their life cycle costing and stuff. For the master planning and rate analysis, we have provided the engineers with all the requested information, so we are on track with that. And we are providing, updated CIP information as well. And, we're still on track with we're still on schedule for the master plan documents with their timeline. Okay.
All right, thanks. Water storage tank planning.
Okay, I was able to fill out the task order, get that completed, and everything is ready to go, and it is scheduled for the September council meeting. So that should be the beginning, probably, of a long project. It's basically gonna be probably roughly 3 years, done in 3 different phases, so. That's pretty much what I have on that. I think we've got a lot of the small things figured out, but once we get the engineering and everything done, then, we'll go full blast on it, so. Okay, the Grindstone Dam conduit inspection. That one's all ready to go, and that's on the council meeting also, so. Hopefully we get that signed and we'll get that moving. And then, the Grindstone Dam emergency spillway and surface or concrete repairs. The assessment, we're in the coordinating phase with, Yane Associates and the crane operators. We're getting them set up as a vendor. Karen sent them all the information this morning. And, get them set up and tentatively, I spoke with Gresh a little while ago, but tentatively they're looking at the first week of October to get that started. There's gonna have to be a little bit of coordination and a few things to work out and everybody's scheduled and make sure everybody's available, but that's what we're shooting for, so. I think that's it.
All right, thanks. The fine screens at the treatment plant.
Okay, so for the update on that, Eric just said that they're still working on finalizing the design basis memo. So that's the only update on that.
All right, on the engineering, the Alto Reservoir improvements.
Right, so we had a meeting with the engineer and our CES contractor, Morrow Enterprises, on Tuesday. Ended up finding out that the parts won't be here in time to finish the construction for that project before snowmaking season. And due to that, we are gonna wait until after snowmaking season to actually start construction on that project. But we do still wanna keep moving forward, with this, contractor on getting things ordered and in place. That way, everything will be ready to go. This will not harm the snowmaking business at all. It's just going to be business as usual, like previous years.
Except he's opening more stuff.
Yeah. So, and well, we have talked to water production. We'll still have enough water and everything as well. So we should be hopefully good this winter, and next winter we should have this project by next snowmaking season up and going.
Good. Are you guys putting in the contracts that they need to order all this equipment? when
We
they
are,
start? And it
yeah,
still may
we're,
be late,
we're working,
right?
yeah, we're working on different ways to address that, just because of the lag time in parts being delivered, just how
Yeah,
far out they are.
Everything's a problem these days, so
Yeah,
they may have to rewrite their pay schedule. And we can pay for it when it gets here, but
definitely, yeah. I know that's something we've been discussing a lot about, is making sure parts are ready to go, so we're not having this lag time that we've been seeing.
yeah, good.
So Ashley, Eric did meet with Tom Dorgan and, figured out what his, peak demand is gonna be, right?
Correct.
And then he visited with Randy and you guys went over it and you feel that you're gonna be able to deliver, the amount of water off that raw water line?
Yes, I believe we shouldn't have any problems meeting his demand or his needs.
What was it, like 800 gallons a minute or something like that?
That, if he needs 800, that's,
I think that was a future. I don't
yeah,
think it
that
was for
future,
this year. It
'cause
was gonna be
we've
like
usually
the
been
following.
running maybe 450 gallons and, we didn't really have much of a problem, meeting that goal.
Okay, so I'd request that you guys schedule a meeting because the last time I talked, I think that's what he was requesting.
Okay.
So I wanna make sure that we're on the same page.
I think it was 880 is what they designed it for. They went.
Yeah, we did a
80
buffer.
gallons over his 800 demand or request, and so.
And we will be reaching out to him because we just got the 90% design. And so we want to make sure he has ample time to review it and he feels comfortable with it as well. So we'll be reaching out and we'll go ahead and address that as well when we reach out.
And then we can also, make some changes and try to ensure the tanks, we keep them pretty full anyways, so. Even if we drop 400 gallons a minute, you can still make it up. We didn't have much of a problem last year, so.
Randy, those, the pump house that we're gonna utilize for, Dorgan,
Yep,
we put new pumps in there and everything when we did that.
correct. Pumps 1, 2, and 3, and actually, we hit a milestone last week. We actually was taking water from the Alto Reservoir and feeding Plant 3.
How much were you bringing in?
Anywhere from 130 to 150 gallons. It looked like 130 when we did the calculations on it. We had an issue with the meter, in the vault on the outside, so we're working on that. But that's pretty much gonna be replaced with the new meter anyways. But yeah, we didn't have any issue at all. The nice thing about it is, we got to look and assess everything and make sure everything's working right, because we haven't used it much at all since, we put in the 3 new pumps and we did find a couple issues that we've already resolved. Another thing is, I talked to Eric about it today, we've got a quote for 6 to 8-inch butterfly valves that will be on each of the 3 pumps, one on the suction side and one on the discharge. Those are horrible shape, and it took like a pipe wrench to try to open them and close them. So we've got that in budget to replace. The only thing is, it is gonna take a little bit of lead time to get it in, but,
I was just trying to make a point that, those pumps were working, there were new pumps in there.
oh yeah. Well, we found 2 issues with it. Somehow, the motor was wired backwards. And so when we fired it up, it hit the ratchet and the ratchet stopped it, from spinning backwards. And then so we we had a couple of issues and we've got it pretty much solved. We reversed one of the legs and that took care of it and everything fired right up, so, yeah, everything will be in good shape, you know, for, when that project starts. We'll ensure that.
Well, I just want to make sure, Ashley, that we schedule a meeting with Tom Dorgan and we go over those numbers again before, you know,
Yeah, we'll definitely schedule something here soon, make sure.
Yeah,
because what I recall, he was asking for 800 gallons a minute,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, we'll make sure that his business is good to go for this winter.
you know, if we had to run 800 gallons, that would pretty much take most of the water, you know. I mean, we could add some more, but we could, you know, we'll work around it somehow. So we'll figure
The
it out.
lake's in good shape right now.
Yeah.
Do you remember that conversation, Ron? I
remember.
just don't want to tell Tom, yes, we're going to deliver 800 gallons a minute, then all these, but what ifs and whatnot. You know, I want to make sure that we're going to deliver 800 gallons a minute.
Yeah.
Because we're giving him that definite, so when he's asking us, we're saying, yes, you can fill he fills those little ponds he has, and he's prepared to do that, so.
Yeah, we'll schedule something here soon with them.
Okay, I think this is you again, the Two Rivers Park
Yes.
restoration.
So the update from Eric is they are working on notice of intent to apply for hazard mitigation funding through FEMA. Meeting scheduled tomorrow or Friday to review with staff from FEMA and DHSEM.
And the Upper Canyon Surface Diversion.
Okay. Upper Canyon surface diversion, we did receive our 90% design. We will be reviewing that internally on Tuesday morning. So we can address these comments to the engineer before 100%. Eric and I will be applying for the Water Trust Board funds. We're gonna start working on it this week because it is due in a couple of weeks, the application. So we wanna make sure everything is good to go.
Good. And Pine Cliff Water and Sewer for you, Adam, is that right?
Yeah, so, engineering's done, we have it on the shelf, we're just, waiting on funding to be able to start that project.
You've already applied and everything?
No, we won't be able to apply this year. So we're looking at other methods and, you know, if we have to, we have it on the shelf, so it's a ready-to-go project.
Okay. And Eagle Creek Well Field Phase 3.
All right, so we'll be advertising to bid on September 16th in the Ruidoso paper and September 18th in the Albuquerque and Roswell papers. That way it's the Sunday paper for those and then the Friday paper for Ruidoso. We will do a non-mandatory pre-bid meeting on September 28th, tentatively at 10 a.m. With a bid opening on October 18th, and hopefully we'll be able to bring this to council on November 8th. We did submit all of our ready to proceed items to NMFA at the end of August. So everything is how they went through the documents. If we needed to update anything, we did send in those corrections, so we should be good to go on those items. And I believe that is it for Eagle Creek Wellfield.
Okay, hazard mitigation and stabilization.
So, the AUI has been contracted, as we know. They have come out and did some surveying. The arborist is supposed to be here this week. We're setting up a meeting, I think, for Friday, is what there's been some emails going back and forth. So, we're gonna start looking at the trees that need to come down and trimmed up and stuff like that.
Several months back, we had a meeting with the engineering company and all those people, the homeowners. And one of the engineers said that we're gonna put everything back. Like there was a gazebo or an arbor or something. It's in the floodplain. Just make sure they don't put anything back in the floodplain.
Yeah, they're working through that, and like, you know, there were some steps built, you know, after the engineering has been done, so they're having to go out and talk to the homeowners and, you know, deal with the stuff like that.
Okay, good.
So they're not gonna start construction, I mean, until October, the actual groundbreaking. They are gonna start, like I said, the surveys, the non-ground disturbance work, you know, they're trying to start now, and we're finalizing, all the easement, or I guess there's a couple more easements that we're looking at, that, you know, just to make sure that the temporary easements were there for when they go in.
All right, stormwater management at Horton.
All right, so Eric's update is they are nearing finalization of modifications to design on back of building. And, he also requested if Leonard could give an update as well on that project.
So Zeke with White Mountain, with White Sands Construction has scheduled a meeting for tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. They will go over the grading plan for the back of the Horton complex and get a final. Zeke did send, the plan from Mr. Phillips to the concrete, folks, and he's just waiting back for comments to be answered. So tomorrow we should have a good indication as far as what they're gonna do in the front and the back of the building, and we should be able to proceed, as long as no other issues are identified, so. I think that's all I got for, so.
Because you've got plenty of stormwater down there.
Yeah, we do, and that back area was pretty complex with the tower there.
Yeah.
And then also position of the generator and having entrances and exits, that folks can actually use. So, they've done a really great job of kind of coming together, and submitting revisions and having comments and talking about them to get to a result that everyone can live with. So hopefully tomorrow in the morning they have that.
Good.
Leonard, are we coordinating with the schools on that?
So at this point, we're just kind of waiting to see what happens with the grading for the back of the building. And then, John did bring up a issue as far as the drainage of the water, and the school's parking lot. So we will be able to address that after we define the back of the building there. But I will be listening in, and if it isn't brought up, I will task them with getting that figured out as well.
Yeah, I think you need to engage Ron to have that communication with them as we move forward, but you know, if they're gonna change that, it's obviously gonna impact the school property as well.
Yes, sir. Again, John did bring up a point about the water, and according to John, that water may move a lot differently than we think it does actually. So again, I will kind of just listen in and see what they say. And then if that hasn't been brought up, I will task them with bringing that up and making sure that that water does not run across the road and then the parking lot and then into, that person's yard, as John did bring up. So we will address that as well, Mr. Dodge.
Thank you. Is it still gonna go down around the football field in the back?
That's the way the plan is designed for the back there. But John did bring up the fact that the parking lot for the schools will have a channel of water, he says, does run across that parking lot, then across the road, then across someone's front yard, and then off of the side of the hill there. So,
Because it's gonna have to go across Walnut through somebody's yard.
well, apparently that's the natural path of the water at this point. But again, a critical path was to have them address the entrance and the exit of the Horton and make sure that, the entrances and exits or the egress was correct. And then, again, tomorrow we'll see if they bring up the parking lot issue with the water. And if not, then we will make sure they do so.
But Tim, you said that was the natural path of the water, but when we're increasing the flow, do we incur some liability there? You don't want to
Well,
flood somebody's house.
I don't know if we're gonna incur liability, but I know we have a responsibility.
Right.
So
Yeah,
we'll take a closer look at
Yeah,
that.
we'll make sure, and it sounds like we may be talking about two different areas of flow. This one may be in a different area, than just the back of the building, so I'll make sure that they address both.
okay, thanks.
I hope we don't increase liability.
What's that?
I hope we don't increase liability. We don't like doing that, but that's what happens when we don't take responsibility, right?
Yeah, well, we don't want to flood somebody's house down on Walnut. There's several of them right there.
I agree.
Now, I don't know if the bar ditches would handle enough water to get it down Walnut. I don't think so.
That's my question more is, are we gonna be running it into that drainage pond, behind the Horton, or are we pushing that back? But we can address that later.
And again, there's been some revisions, so tomorrow I'll get a good chance to look in and see the actual plan and make sure that those are.
Yeah, and when you get it, just do me a favor and come visit me so I can see it myself.
All right, lift stations and force mains.
So Smithco did remobilize. They coordinated with Cutler Construction and paved the upper Sudderth, their portion of the upper Sudderth area. Did raise the manholes. On Sleepy Hollow, they got the electrical run to the pole across the road and hooked up the lift station. So Sleepy Hollow lift station is pretty much ready to go and go online, but they can't put that one online until Circle lift station is tied in and online. And we're working with Moles and Corbin and High Water Mark and everybody on the box location. They did run the power down there to the conduit to the lift station, so the meter will be up top and the power is run down at the bottom.
Good. You have a shop?
We got a shop.
Cool.
We even got tile in the shop. So the RJU shop building, there was a RFI that went out from White Sands for some grading in front. Some of the slopes were actually sloping towards the building, so that has been mitigated. Roper Constructions got it back, and he's planning on mobilizing, I think, next week to do the final grading for the concrete pad in front of the building. And like I said, that building's moving along pretty good. They're waiting to hook up the electrical and the gas right now. But the inside, the tile's been done, sheetrock's been done, taped and textured, painted. It's looking really good.
Looks like a shop, huh?
It looks like a shop.
Think I have to get some grease on the floor.
You know what? I wanted to go in there and put the first grease spot on there.
Yeah. All right, Eagle Creek and Gavilan well field design.
All right, good news, the chipsets for the VFD should be here on September 19th.
Is that the new lie of the week?
That's what I got told. And a tentative startup date on the week of October 24th for this project.
All right, close out. Alto Crest treatments.
All right. Well, we did have the open house last month, and I think that went pretty well. And got a lot of good compliments from a lot of people, and especially from NMED. They thought things went well, and they liked what they saw. So that's a good plus. And you know, I'm constantly updating Joe with stuff that he's requesting, and you know, stuff on the clear well and some questions that he had, and we've got that addressed right away. And we did get the electronic gate installed, so that's up and running. So that's going to be real good. And we've got the cameras waiting on a PO for that, and then we're going to have the cameras installed. So we're working right now on making it secure and having it, you know, a lot better. So that's kind of the goal for both plants, is to have cameras and everything, you know, minimize people going in and out without us knowing. So. And did talk to Marcos and couldn't get a hold of Ishmael, but we talked about it yesterday, and you know that their lease is ending at the end of this month. So So,
Are they gonna stay there?
no, we're kicking them out.
Oh,
So, but I mean, they did talk about, trying to set up a trailer or something in the area that I think Ishmael owns. And I think they did that when they had the Little Bear Fire. So, but, once we get that, get the lab back, we'll get it all, checked out and see if we have to make any repairs or painting or whatever, so. And then we'll have it fully enclosed, so that's the goal. And, the final, change order is on the September meeting, so. I think that's good to see that one closed out.
Tim's gonna get you.
Huh?
Tim's gonna get you. Change order.
Yeah. No, it's a good one though, it's a plus. Final change order of I think it's like 10,000 saved there, so
There you go.
that should be a lot better.
All right, thanks.
And, if, I just got a couple other little bitty projects, Eric usually likes me to do an update on them. And, they are gonna be on the capital projects meeting. I sent the list and everything to Rachel, so. The road 127A, that's the road going to North Fork Wells. We're gonna be getting 3 different quotes on that to get the base course set up and everything, so that's in the process right now. I'm working on that one.
Randy, right now, on that, why would we haul base course when we have all these millings?
I don't know, if we have it, I didn't really know that.
We have more millings than we can handle.
I'm not sure that Eric wanted the millions. on
Yeah, I
that.
don't think
What it was,
I don't think he liked it last time they
Why?
did that.
I don't know.
Cause I think last time somebody,
We can't use the millings because of the oil in it. They don't want the oil going on the well field.
Who doesn't want it?
Eric and the National Forest Service. That's why they stopped it.
Can you guys give that to me in black and white from National Forest Service? Okay, I'd like to see that.
yeah, we can definitely check on that and get that to you, so. And then, the North Fork Control Building expansion, where we met with Zeke and Eric and Terry and myself. And we also met with the architect and went over a game plan on extending it out another 6 to 8 feet, keeping the width about the same and just bringing it forward. The goal is to put all the VFDs on this wall and then all the controls and everything on the other wall. And, the goal is to make sure it's all, up to, code and, cause right now it's so compact and everything's all in there, 3 VFDs and so that should work out a lot better. We did receive the engineer's estimate, came out to $12,468.84. And we're working on getting that taken care of, so. And that's all I have on those additional projects, so.
Okay. Adam, Town and Country.
So, Town and Country project's done. That we are having a little issues with some drainage. When they set the road, when they paved the road and shaped the ditches up there. With these big rains, a lot of the base course is washed out and it's starting to undermine some of the roads. So, I've been working with Sauter Miller and they've been contacting, General Hydronics to find a solution to what we can do. We're trying to set up a meeting for tomorrow morning on that.
And Paradise Canyon.
Paradise Canyon lateral replacement and the bridge is complete. Cutler has been through there and repaved Paradise. There's a couple little sections that we've identified that need to be remilled and repaved. Just with the wet weather and stuff like that, there's a little bit of ground disturbance there.
It's way better.
Yes, it does. So, he's looking to try to stripe next week, depending on the scheduling with their striping company. But, as, I talked to him this morning and they're hoping to schedule it to stripe next week.
I had somebody ask me who took out all the traffic control. Just kidding, Joe.
So, all right.
Go faster, right?
And the Grindstone Dam cleaning, drain cleaning.
The final, now we got some good news. All the documents that Gresh sent to me, brought them over and got Tim's signature and sent them back to James Head. They reviewed everything and they actually approved it, and we got the certification or certificate right here stating that, the project is approved and completed, and they executed the state engineer's certificate for the construction completion document. So everything's done.
You better frame that one.
I know, the one thing they did mention is, they did say, thank you for your part in helping to make this important project come to fruition. So, it's a pretty good sign, so.
Yeah.
Good to see that one closed, and I just sent James all the updates and stuff, and I updated him on the status on the other ones yesterday, so. So he's pretty pleased with us right now. Hopefully that'll last,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, restoration of sewer lines and manholes.
So that project is done. We did finally receive the closeout docs from Moles and Corbin for the final change order. And hopefully we'll be taking that to JEB this coming JEB meeting. So we can release all SAK's bonds and everything for them.
All right, we got a few on hold, it looks like. Several years. Only one I want to see get done is the grading and parking out here. You can't ever find a place. Is there anything we need to know on those, or they're just all on hold?
They're all on hold.
Okay. All right, I guess that's it. Next meeting, October 3rd. 3 o'clock here, I suppose. So, let's see. Anybody have anything else? All right, so this meeting's adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Leonard, if